Staccato CS. Now, if you don't know or you're not too familiar with Staccatos, they have big guns, they have medium-sized guns, they've had smaller guns, and now they have a small gun. Small gun being relative. This is about the size. The Staccato CS is Staccato's entry into the double stack micro size handgun that's focused around concealed carry. I tend to carry the C2 every once in a while. It is a little bit beefier and chunkier gun, but the CS excited me because it is basically the C2, but smaller. I mean, that's literally what it is. Smaller in terms of, you know, width. It's a lot thinner. And a lot of people think that doesn't make much of a difference when you conceal carrying, but when you appendix carry like I do, it makes a difference. So, you have a 3.5-inch barrel, as you can see here. Visually, it's more or less the same as all of the other Staccatos. They have a design language that is very similar to each other, kind of like Porsches. They tend to have, or 911s, they tend to have a similar kind of aesthetic. So where people more or less say, oh, they all kind of look the same. That's kind of what Staccatos are. However, the thing about them is that they look really good. And the thing about this one too is, I love the proportions on it because it is smaller and more compact. It's like it took the big size Staccato, smashed it down to size, and there's something about this size pattern that just, to me, visually looks really good on this gun. So, the differences though is you get the star, which I had a friend of mine, he said basically that he liked the gun, he likes the Staccatos, but he wished the star was a little smaller. So when he saw the CS, he was like, oh my God, the star is a lot smaller. And so he liked it a lot more. I'm inclined to agree with him, even though the bigger star didn't really bother me. But you got this 3.5-inch barrel. I have a new recoil system in here. As you can see here on this kind of hood, there's a bit of a difference in terms of the aesthetics too. You kind of have this almost square-like cutout with these kind of serrations on the actual barrel hood, which is different because that's not typically what you get. Of course, you still have your suppressor height sights with the fiber optic front. And as you see here, I'm running my Leupold Delta Point Pro. And by and large, you have a different grip module, as you can see here, but my holster for my C2 still works on this one. So let's do some shooting. So one of the things I love about Staccatos is that their guns shoot so incredibly fast and flat. Anybody who knows me knows I like guns that shoot fast and I like them to shoot flat. However, what's very interesting about this gun is usually it's hard to capture in smaller guns, especially guns of this size. But as you can see here, this thing just freaking runs. Just runs. It's gonna be really shooting heavy. I'm just gonna warn you now. Largely because I ain't shooting my own ammo. But anyway, as you can see here, it, like, gun runs. And so for a gun this size, when you start going to guns that are this small, you start getting into what I like to call a confidence issue. There's always been this weird kind of give and take where you get either a really small gun, which is designed for like up close work, right? And then you also have situations where if you have a bigger gun, you can kind of, you can come back here and shoot at distance. Right? So those are distances outside of your traditional 3 to 7 yards for a self-defense situation. The beautiful thing about this CS is it is a small gun that shoots huge. And I've said this before. I've said a gun shoots, I can't remember which gun it was, but I was like, this gun shoots a lot bigger than what it was. It was the Kimber R7 Mako. So from a size perspective, it's on par with all of the other guns, but here's the beautiful thing about it though. It shoots bigger. So when it's in your hand and you're shooting, it feels like a bigger gun, which I think that's a positive. I said, this gun is small, but it shoots so much bigger. This gun is small, but it shoots huge, huge. It's insane how well and accurately I can shoot this gun considering how small it is. So it's like the level of confidence that you end up having is stupid. It's dumb. Like, look at this. Like, you should not be able to do this with a gun this size. I can literally just with all the confidence in the world. Like, that's incredible for a gun this size. And so I'm giddy, because it's such a tight little package that just freaking runs, and it really does remind me. And I know it does. It reminds me of a Porsche 911 GT3. It just does. And the reason why is because you have this small, tight, awkward-looking thing, and it's not really awkward, but it's just small and tight and compact. But it can handle everything you throw at it. It is so versatile, even though its size tells you this is designed for concealed carry. So let's talk about some of the more boring stuff that everybody wants to know. Let's talk about this trigger. So, and have you noticed I haven't scooched back up yet? Like, I feel completely comfortable out here. What am I at about? I'd say about 20 feet. I mean, think about that for a second. So I don't feel the need that I need to get up close and shoot my guns, shoot the CS, because it's such a easy gun to shoot at distance. But let's take a look at this trigger. So this trigger is, as you would guess, phenomenal. You got this beautiful take up, clean, clean, clean. And then you got this crispy 4K break. Crispy 4K break. Crispy 4K break. And it's not light. I'd say I don't have the official number on poundage, but what it feels like in my hands, it feels like a crispy 4K, 4.5, maybe 5 pounds, maybe 6. That's a wide damn spectrum. I'd say I'd give it about 5, which you would want in a concealed carry style gun. I don't necessarily want a really light trigger on my concealed carry gun, because then you get up here and then under adrenaline and you're just like, oh my God, the gun goes off because you have a really light trigger, and it's hard to finally have that precise of a poundage weight on your trigger under an extremely high stress situation. So you want to be able to have some of that forgiveness where even though in a high stress situation, I can still break the slack on that gun and know I'm at that wall and not be afraid of accidentally letting one off. And then when I'm actually ready, I can do it. This gun inspires so much confidence for considering how small it is. Let's talk about the capacity. Capacity-wise, it's a 16+1. 16+1. If I'm gonna get a gun equal to its size, it's very close to a 6-hour P365 XL. If you look at that gun, that's essentially about what the size of this gun is. Now, this is a little bit thicker, ever so slightly, but more or less that's how it feels. And of course, I can run it with my optic, and so what the optic does for me is also give me the confidence to be able to shoot targets at long distances. Generally speaking, I really only like using my red dot when I'm shooting at a longer distance. Up close, I'm running these fiber optic fronts with the blacked out rears. But with the red dot, with my loophole Delta Point Pro, I can get really precise. And if you look at the target I'm shooting at the center of that target, right? So, and that target will move. Look at that. Freaking precise I can get with this gun at these distances. Keep in mind, typical distance for concealed carry for self-defense typically is like 3 to 7 yards. I'm right now at about 20. Wait, no, I said 20 feet last time, didn't I? Don't rely on me on my distance. My distance is all over the place. Just know it's a lot further than what you would typically shoot in a self-defense situation, but you still have the ability to get the precision that you need. Like, this is stupid. This is stupid. So what you get with guns like this, let me finish this off. The thing about 2011s, right? I don't know if I can necessarily compare them to striker-fired guns or any other guns. This gun kind of sits in its own realm because there are the manual of arms that are a lot different than you would get from other guns. With this one, you still have to deal with the issue of the safety. Not everybody likes having safeties on their gun to run the safety, but some of the benefits you do get with having a safety is you get the added comfort of knowing you have a manual safety on your gun, but then you also have a grip safety on the gun as well. So now let's talk about how this gun recoils, because it is a smaller gun, and Staccatos are known for recoiling very, very, very light. Well, I can show you better than I can tell you. Let's say we're here, and let's watch this. You can tell me how this gun's jumping. Did you see that? See that? No, you didn't see anything because it didn't recoil. No, it did recoil. But this gun recoils like a full-size gun. Like it's not very jumpy at all. Like even just one-handed. And there's no death grip, there's nothing. It's just one-handed and this back on, back on, back on, back on, back on.
Before you finish watching this video, a word from our sponsor. Have you ever thought about making a living in the firearms industry? If you enjoy gun repair, ballistics, and learning about firearms, Sonoran Desert Institute's online courses might just be a good fit for you. To find out more, visit sdi.edu or call 480-999-4767 today.
The recoil is very much, if I was gonna explain the recoil verbally, I would say, let's see. Feels like a Glock 19. I'm just being honest with you. It recoils almost identically to the Glock 19. This gun is smaller than the Glock 19. Since I've been out here, I've gone through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, probably 10 different magazines. This is supposed to be a first mag. I usually go through 2, maybe 3 magazines. I've been out here shooting this thing like a lunatic because it is so enjoyable to shoot. And I'm gonna go shoot another mag. That's how freaking crazy it is to shoot this gun. Like it is such an enjoyable gun to shoot. You would see this and not think, I know people are pissed off, stop shooting and talking at the same time. I'm sorry, it's a first mag. It's supposed to be organic and I kind of get in the mode and I just start talking and shooting. But this is not supposed to be a gun from a size standpoint that you say, I'm just gonna go out to the range and have a good time shooting. I can shoot this gun leisurely and enjoy every minute of it almost to the same degree I would with a full-size version of a Staccato, maybe an XC, an XC or a P. I enjoy shooting it the same. I'm not like, oh my God, this gun's beating me up. Oh my God, I don't enjoy it. Let's hurry up and get this over with so that I can go and put it back on my person and go about my life. No, I wanna come out here, sit and just play and just enjoy every aspect of the shooting experience. You do get a little bit of extension with the magazine, sticks out just ever so slightly, but that is almost a non-starter when it comes to carrying and how much extra size it adds to the gun. But as far as weight is concerned, I mean, it feels a little bit lighter than the C2. However, it's not gonna be as light as, say, I don't know, like a Glock 43X of sorts. It's not gonna be as light. I'll be the first one to tell you that. But if you like the benefits that come with having a 2011, right? You have the shootability. Like I shoot this way better than I shoot my 43X. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to see that. God damn, this gun is so good to shoot. Like, this is nutty. If you really love the 2011 platform, you'd be a moron not to at least consider this gun. You just would. I mean, this thing is everything that you would think you would want from a gun of this size. Now, if you're somebody who's more of a striker fired kind of gal or girl or guy, this could turn you. This could turn you to the dark side. It really could. As long as you can get past the manual of arms, which has the safety here and the grip safety, which usually is the biggest issue that most people have. You'd be dumb otherwise not to at least go and shoot it and try it out. So, there you have it. Staccato CS, chambered in 9. Oh, and that's another thing. It's not cheap. It's not. However, there is something to be said about having a gun, a quality gun that you carry. I don't know, it's just different. I've carried cheap guns and I've carried really expensive guns. This gun, I'm assuming, sits somewhere in around the $2,500 mark. Yeah, that ain't for the faint of heart, monetarily. However, sometimes when you go out and actually test things out, it changes things.
You know how frightening it is to think about what happens in the moments before, during, and even days after having to use your gun in self-defense? When you first start carrying a gun for protection, it can be a very scary and nerve-wracking experience, especially if you haven't gotten the education and training you need to feel confident. I've been there myself, hoping I never have to go through a self-defense shooting, which is why I'm a member of the USCCA. As a USCCA member, you can eliminate some of the stress of carrying a gun for protection by accessing the amazing wealth of firearm education, training, and current state-specific gun laws of your state or states you may travel to. This can help you be prepared for, or hopefully even avoid, a self-defense incident. As a bonus, members automatically become insured on the self-defense liability insurance policy purchased by and issued to the USCCA. Click below to learn more. I'm sure the YouTube algorithm is going to do a phenomenal job of suppressing this message. So please share this video with as many people as you can so we can beat the algorithm and get our two-way message out to the masses. Also, don't forget to like this video and leave a comment, and hit the bell and subscribe button.